neighbor, I don't know if you know, but I'm going to tell you. I got a clothing brand, so go ahead and visit the website. The website is www.thepeculiarway.com. We have faith-based t-shirts and hoodies. It's just starting, so go ahead and go show us some love. Even just a view does a lot. Thank you in advance. Hey neighbor, welcome back. There's a lot to talk about this week, but again, I'm just praying to come off the best way that Holy Spirit feel like it should come out to you guys. You know how you know people been viewing your content, but the numbers ain't numbering? That's how it's been lately. Because it's people you know that say stuff that only you said in the video. So it's like, how you know unless you viewed the video? But the numbers on the video don't show you viewed the video, you know? But anyway, hey to my 7 neighbors. I appreciate y'all. We ain't got no HOA fee just yet, but I appreciate y'all. But at some point, a like a do. I don't care if you share. A subscribe would be nice for the new people. And then the HOA fee for y'all gonna be a like as well. But until we get this together, it's okay. I'm still happy that you guys came back. Anyway, this week has been different. Because like I told y'all in the last video, it's a lot of new stuff going on that I don't really know about. And I don't really know how to talk about because, what is it? But I watch movies quite often. And I was watching this movie that was kind of talking about dark matter and how scientists are trying to figure out how to use energy in a way to transport to different places. And it's kind of like portals, but instead of calling it portals, they calling it dark matter in the movies, right? But before they was calling it dark matter, they was calling it portals. And it just all seemed like science fiction at the time because it was like, what are y'all talking about? And we weren't really seeing it, so it was movies. It was that world and not our world, if that makes sense. So I'm seeing how they are trying to figure out how to do these things and using people or humans or people like you and me as science projects or test subjects to try to figure this stuff out. And what is horrible about all of that is I'm pretty sure you didn't consent to it. I know for a fact I didn't consent to it because I wouldn't consent to nothing like this. But they're doing it anyway just because, for the sake of science or for the sake of wanting to know what they can get away with, which is crazy. So what I've noticed is I thought it was just towards me at first. So I'm just, in my mind trying to figure stuff out, talking to God about it because, I get mad at it. But he's going to have to teach me or help me figure out how to cope through it, right? So I seen it happen to somebody else next to me, and I was just like, okay, so it's not just taking place with me. And if I can see how it's affecting me, Lord, I know that your other children are being affected by this as well. So how are you helping them through it? And if they don't know or have a solid understanding of who you are in our lives, how are they coping through this? And things that were taking place, like they're weaponizing things that you may have done in the past, like past sin, or things that you may have, like, I'm going to say guilty pleasures with, and trying to torment you in your natural, like to mess with your mind, to lower your energy, or put you in a state of being upset. Like, you hear people talk about frequencies all the time, and when they talk about it, it sounds magic, mystical, and unnatural, so it doesn't make sense, and it's not standard, so you just deem them as spiritualist or into witchcraft and all other type of things. But some people are into it in that way, and then now I'm learning that there's different ways to think about those types of things if it's not something that naturally is a thought process for you. So let's say there's sounds or sayings or something that you've watched that you kind of feel convicted of, but that small conviction is now weaponized towards you. So when you hear it now, it's like you may have liked how that sound before, but now it's like, why would you even try to make that sound like that? Or why would you think that that was okay to do? Like, I wish I could explain that better, but what it's trying to do is make you feel convicted of things that you shouldn't feel convicted of. Or if you do feel convicted of it, you can talk to God about it and ask him to help you through those things so that you don't think of them in a perverted way or walk in perversion, and free yourself through God. Like, that's what Jesus died on the cross for, to bear our sins, so that we don't have to walk around feeling plagued by small things like sounds or things that we used to watch, or something that we may have said that wasn't always favorable, and now all of a sudden it's used against you, but just because you said it. And it's like, where's the grace? Like, this is not of God. I don't know what y'all trying to do with mind effing people, but what y'all doing in the name of science is not of God. And clearly y'all have never believed in God, so it makes sense because y'all believe in science. But I'm not discrediting people that do believe in God and do like have a love for science. If you know, because you're around it, so you know. So don't try to weaponize or demonize what I'm saying for the sake of something that you love. So what I've noticed is, like, when things like that happen, it's just like, it puts you in a mindset of like, man, I'm tired of this. Like, when is this going to stop? And it tries to bring your understanding of who God is to a state of like damnation. Like, there's no getting away from this. There's nothing that can save us from this darkness. And it's like trying to push you to the point of not wanting to be here or around this or around anyone or anything that causes that type of energy anymore. And it's like, it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't get to that point. Like, they're really just using situations like that for the purpose of seeing how far they can go. Like, they've set up so many portals in different cities, and it's like, if you don't know what that is, it just look like monuments or statues or different things just set up in the city. But they're really just trying to see like how much darkness they can bring into these areas to force people into a psychotic mindset, to make it seem like people don't know how to control themselves, or people don't know how to handle how to cope with life. And it's like, that's not the case nor the fact or of anything. Like, we all have to lean on something, and it's better to lean on God than to lean on people trying to force ideologies on you or force mindsets and chaotic situations and try to force you to understand them, when it's like, if none of that was around or happening, how would my life be without it? Like, on a day-to-day, who's trying to think of the negativity? Who's wanting the worst of the worst? No one. Like, everyone wants better for themselves, or everyone should want better for themselves and better for the things around them. So to constantly have negativity forced down your throat or pushed into your face, it's just like, how the heck can you crawl out of a pit if somebody constantly kicking you in the face to force you back down to the bottom of it, you know? So even with that, like, I don't want to get into like the political parts of why things like that take place, because there are people out there that don't want you to believe in who you believe in, and they'll do whatever it takes for them to try to disprove whatever it is that you have your faith in. So they'll take debt and use that against you. Like, you're in debt because either you're trying to get your life to be in a better position by going to school, or you are purchasing something that you actually need and you don't have the cash just yet because payday is around the corner. Or, you see something that you like and you want it after, going through a long day, a week of BS and just trying to cope with that. And you just want some type of relief, just a small relief. But because you might be in debt because of these things, it's a justification for these people or beings to come in and use their darkness on you just because you're not debt free, or they want to say you're not managing your money or your life right. And it's just like, that's not even the case. And even if you did try to pay off these debts, there's something else that they'll try to use against you to justify what they're doing. And none of it is of God. Like, it's not. Like, I don't see how you can point anything of what's going on towards God or try to justify and say that it's in God's will. Now, God might be allowing it to help his children understand persecution and help them figure out how to call on him more, or to pray to him more, to ask for deliverance of being oppressed, or just to show people what oppression is in other places that we might not be seeing here. But to make it seem like that's normal, I'm not I can't agree with that. Like, the stuff that's taking place isn't normal. And again, like I said, it's just projects to see how people cope with things like this. And there's a lot more to it, and I don't think I'll be able to fit it all in this. And again, I don't want to go over, so I'm going to stop it here, and then I'll keep going on the next one. But I hope to see y'all there.